Alright, welcome to today's daily challenge on May 18th. In today's challenge, it looks like it's a pretty easy one. Get over 80k. The top 11 already have that. They're also very short runs, which means it's not a long infinite combo, which probably leads to something like spell weakness or just lots of big damage spells playing repetitively. We do get Stygian, we get Tethys, hopefully we get Conduit. Conduit's probably... Tethys as a champion on Covenant 25 can be weak, but I still stand by that Conduit Tethys is probably the strongest single champion path in the game. Plink. Plinks are kind of weak, but I really like Plinks in the DLC just because they're easy to upgrade at Divine Temples, and they take the damage increases very well. Eat Ocalypse, so we're going to hopefully have a very small deck. Tithe, so not much money, and Broken Valve, so we're going to be drawing a lot of cards. Once again, this one pairs pretty well with Tethys as well. And let's get going. Alright, Flash Freeze and Amulet. This is high cost cards, of course, are pretty good with Volatile Gauge because they have a chance of being reduced in cost. Making of a Morsel is weaker with Volatile Gauge now that the DLC is out because the cost has been reduced to 1. And Flash Freeze, decent backline clear. Alright, Boons of the Blacksmith. I don't want anything to do with Pyre, so that's not very useful. Capricious Reflection. Sometimes it's very strong, sometimes it can hurt depending on the upgrades, right? You can get Burnout 1 on your unit as an upgrade. You can get the Add Consume or Double Stack on something that doesn't need it or doesn't go well with it. So sometimes it's strong, sometimes it hurts. I'm just going to take the 10 gold. It's not very much gold, but I'm still taking it. And we do get Conduits, so I'm just going to snap pick Conduit. If you do the daily challenge and you get Tethys, I'm telling you 99% of the time you want to take the Conduit path if offered. Always turn on the challenge. Alright. 1 Plink, 2 Plink, clear him out, clear that out. I do also want to kill that. Okay, this is fairly simple. I'm going to stick one of you here. Kill one of these. Give him a damage shield. Make him a little stronger. Alright. Nice kill. Easy round 1. Yeah, I'm going to take the Crypt Builder once again. First, with Volatile Gauge being a 3 cost, it's going to work well. Second, going Conduit Path means at the end of the game it's going to be free no matter what. Energy Siphon's usually pretty nice early on. However, it's a 0 cost spell that's going to cost anywhere from 1 to 3 embers, so it's not a good pick here. Typically, I really love Perils. Here, instead of a +3 Ember card, it is anywhere from a +2 to +0 Ember card with Ember Drain, which makes it a lot weaker. So I'm going to skip. And Offering Monument. This is one of the easiest snap pick rare units you can get, especially if you're in the Conduit path of Tethys. All right, let's get rid of something. So I'm gonna look at the. Oh, I can't choose to look at the map right now. Unfortunate. So we're gonna get rid of something. I'm going to get rid of a making of the morsel to start with. All right, I wanted to check the map to see how many divine temples there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing that because I want to maximize my shards. Currently, I can use 2.5 of those temple for fusing units. I'm going to go left. Large stone is nice. This is going to be hilarious. I'm going to take the Shadow Siege. And I'm going to sacrifice it. So, Shadow Siege is really strong with Volatile Gauge because you can automatically be able to cast them for 1 to 3 Ember instead of 6. You still need the size, which is difficult, but I'm instead just going to make it a 3-size unit and fuse him onto my Offering Monument because I think that's hilarious. Let's do free making of a morsel most likely, and then we will intrinsic a flash freeze just in case there's a backline I need to clear right away. Alright, now I don't really want that large. Well, I could do a large stone on him. That is so much health. It's unnecessary, but I'm still going to do it for fun. Right, so I can play him, I can play this. Alright, that's the only attack I can let Tethys get out. Good. Right, I already have the kill. There's no point in going forward, especially because if I do it too much, I could end up just losing, because I can lose health on him every time. Dun, 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 dun. Once again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. There are 1, 2, 3 more temples. So I need 2 more units in total. I can get 2 more units easily. I'm going to take the Mollusk Mage because of that. Spell damage, nice. 0 cost spells, not good. X spells are perfectly fine with Volatile Gauge. Perils, once again, is worse than normal. I'm just going to go for a tiny deck, not pick it. And this time, we're going to get rid of a Guardian's Amulet. I picked a unit already, and I have my upgrades on the main one I want, so let's go this side. Fossilized Fangs is fun. Lost Luggage. So, combo deck Lost Luggage is just kind of easy mode, honestly. Okay, we'll put that on you. Sacrifice one of my Train Stewards to pump up the Mollusk Mage. And -1 purge on a frozen lands. Alright, so I get the copy event. The copy event is nice, and the reason I encourage people to, at least in Ring 3, do the other things first. So if I went to the Merchant Steel side, or if there's a Merchant Magic, do that before you do Concealed Cavern. Same with doing the Divine Temple first, just because then you get the copy event. I don't really want 5 of any cards. Eventually I'll copy most likely him, but at the moment what I actually want, I think, is another Crypt Builder. So redundancy is nice, and I find having 2 Crypt Builders allows you to clear the 2 frontline units really easily, and when there's ever 2 heavies. Alright. So I want to get this early kill as soon as possible, since this costs 3. Going bottom floor is probably not ideal. And we're just going to go through the deck a little bit for fun. So I did that because this gives me a couple rounds, yeah, in case he comes back up. Okay, big damage. More damage. More damage. And kill. So yeah, that's why I set up top floor. She usually either goes directly up 1 or directly down 1 and rotates through. This gave me a chance of her coming top floor without anything there and killing them. If she went mid floor, I would have a chance to clear out some of those guys first, and then still hopefully get the flying kill. And from these, the most useful is the Deep Offering. Deep Offering is a card that I pick a lot of. Honestly, I think it's strong in Covenant 25, but extra strong in the Daily Challenge, which is Covenant 1, because you don't have usually any blights in your deck, any dead weights. It makes it a very strong combo card if I can get Remove Consume on it. Let's look at the map. Alright, there's another Divine Temple up here. So I can take a unit to merge, because I still need, yeah, 1 more unit. Doesn't really matter. And since I'm drawing 10 the first round and 8 every round after that, plus extra cards, I am not going to take draw, which is what I normally take. I'm going to take Ember just to have more chances to cast stuff. And I'm going to get rid of this Mollusk Mage. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. So there's the Remove Consume I want. So now this is going to be a 1 to 3 cost, draw 5 cards, which is great. Alright, I'm going to put plus 30 on one of them. That's going to be something I can dupe for 20 shards, which is nice. And I'm going to put Piercing on it. I really like Piercing on a Crypt Builder because it gets through those Spell Shield units. Now, I do get the option. I could go Silo Fight onto a Train Steward. That does mess my priority unit draw. Or I could do Train Steward. So, yeah, if I keep the Silo Fight, it means I might draw it turn 1 and not my Totem. I just will have to purge it later. But just because I'm still early enough in the game where invasions occur, I'm going to put the Steward onto the Silo Fight instead. Then I'm going to purge some cards. I'm actually going to get rid of the Frost Freeze and the Making of a Morsel. Yeah, so Mark of Invasion is kind of why I knew the one current weakness this deck has is dealing with rows of units. And this is why I took the Piercing, get through that spell shield. Okay. Once again, 4 Ember is very nice for me because it gives me more things I can cast. And easy first floor kill. Urgent Spines is nice in this type of strategy, but as you saw with this deck, it's already small enough that I don't need spell weakness to kill bosses. It's gonna skip. And same with these ones. Engine upgrade's not bad. Ember Forge is kind of nice, I guess. Not as much in this one. Excavated Ember is a card I typically like in this combo, except now that the cards, the Excavated Embers themselves, cost 1 to 3 Ember. They're not necessarily good. So I'm just going to keep slowly getting money. And I'm going to get rid of another Frozen Lands. Alright, this one I only need a 1 unupgraded damage spell up there and my 2 remaining units. So I could get rid of a couple of cards. I do want to get, well, no, I got rid of 1 card automatically. I mean, money is points. Artifacts are nice. We'll just go money for points. Whoops, I'm up 1. Okay. Yeah, money for points. And we're actually going to go ahead and dupe that for shards. And get rid of a blink. Just 1, though. So I'm just playing out every single round, killing all the units so I don't take damage, which is fine. And then I was just playing out all my train stewards. Now I get a pause. If you notice, I have 8 cards left in deck. Now, even if he died, I do have the Deep Offering to drop 5, which is great. And another easy first floor kill. I'm going to take that. Just a little bit extra damage is very fun. Alright, so let's look at our map. I'm going to purge 1 card at the end of this round. Like I said, I need at least 1 unupgraded damage spell for this temple. Which at the rate I'm going, I should be fine, because at worst I can draft a card round 7 to purge. So we'll just keep skipping for gold. Blazing Bolts is kind of fun, because it gets the same cost reduction as my other damage spells, but we're still... we'll take the Blazing Bolt, since it's a better damage spell than the other ones I would get rid of. Let's get rid of... the Flash Freeze. Alright, gold is points, and since I'm just trying to maximize points, I'm going to take the gold. I don't need to upgrade any of my units. Sketches is interesting. So the nice thing about sketches, it would get the Offering Monument out turn 1. The downside of it is I want my Offering Monument the same floor the flying bosses spawn, and that's not guaranteed to be the second floor. So I'm not going to grab that. I'm already drawing 8 cards a turn. That's my max deck size, so that's not as useful. And Mark of Exile, my champion's not attacking or taking damage, so I don't need the full health. Alright. Yes, I'm just going to skip this. I don't need upgrades on my units that I eventually plan to purge. I am simply keeping the silo fight through round 7 in case there are more invasion challenges. And an easy turn 1 kill. So, like I said, that's why I didn't take the sketches there, because I wanted my monument on the same floor where the flying boss spawns, and it's not guaranteed to be the middle floor. So that way I can just kill it turn 1. Alright. So all 3 of these are very strong cards depending on your strategy. If you're going sweep or multi-strike or melee weakness, Umbra Stone is very strong. Gifts for a Guard. I do have the combo of Gifts for a Guard plus Deep Offering. So if I dupe this Deep Offering and play Gifts for a Guard, it gets reduced to 0 Ember. And then I can just play it as a draw 5 each turn if I have 2 of them, and a deck size that's very small, which is easy because of Gifts for the Guard. I can just infinitely incant and draw cards. When you're discarding Offering, the Crypt Builder also does damage. Hoarfrost Effigy, there are some Spell Frost or Frostbite combos which are fun, but that's not this deck, and I have had some very fun flying kills with it. These are all very strong, but not what this deck is doing. Once again, I am already drawing max hand size each turn because my deck is so small, so I'm going to take the Fell's Remorse for more Ember, and we're going to get rid of another Frozen Lance. So once again, money is points. These are upgrades I don't need or deck thinning I don't need. So I'm going to go money. I'm going to take a look at the artifacts. So I do have a couple options here, which aren't very nice. First, I'm going to point out that the reason I've been getting rid of the other damage spells instead of the plinks, even though they're random, 2 damage can remove 2 damage shields or spell shields, so those are a little bit better than just the frozen lances. Here, Split Anvil is actually a very fun interaction with Tethys Conduit. So if I cast a 3-cost spell that costs 0 because it's on Tethys Titanbane's floor, and I have Split Anvil, all my spells that cost less than 3 will now be free. And I can actually show that interaction maybe. So I'm going to take the Split Anvil. I'm at full health. I don't need unit upgrades, so we skip on. Alright, this one's not an invasion challenge, so let's look at our hand. So I'm going, if you notice, I have a 2-cost, 2-cost spell, and a couple of 1-costs. I'm going to put Tethys down. I'm going to put my Monument down. Now, I'm going to cast this Crypt Builder on this floor where it costs 0. Originally it cost 2. If I look at my hand, these 2 cards originally cost 1 Ember. Now they're free. So it's a very strong interaction between Split Anvil and Conduit Tethys. I'm going to save as much health, so I'm just going to use the Blazing Bolts to kill those. I'm going to put these on different floors for wherever the our money bank spawn. There's our collector. Now I can get the kill either way. Alright, that was a very lucky hit for randoms. There we go. Easy bottom floor kill. Skip those. Skip those. I'm going to get rid of the silo fight because I don't need units anymore. So, here this is 35 points. However, I can dupe something at the Hell Vent. When I dupe something at the Hell Vent, it's going to give me a lot more points. I'm going to get 20 shards from the card I'm duping. Double check. Yeah, I don't need any of those. Honestly, I don't think there's really any artifacts I need at the moment. So we'll give you 30 damage and a piercing. We're going to put a Train Steward on Train Steward. We're going to remove the Train Steward. We're going to remove a Plink. This leaves me with 1 Plink left over that I will get rid of at the end of this fight. So the way these work for duping the shard amounts is half of the amount you spent to get it. So this was 25 divided by 2 round up is 15. This is 2 different... actually, I'm not quite sure how the math works out here. But anyways, the point is, since these were 2 big spell upgrades, it dupes for 20 shards. 20 shards is 40 times 20, which is 800 points. So I'm going to dupe that Crypt Builder. Puts me at a nice 290 shards. Which I believe, based on everything, There is just that Hell Event I missed, where I could have gone to 310 shards in this build. Cast this. Cast you. I'm gonna Blazing Bolts, yeah, to kill off a couple other units, which is exactly what I wanted. And now it's just an easy kill. Bam. And it's done, 18,000 points. We're gonna get rid of this Plink, like I said. Now we're on to the Last Divinity, which should also be a very easy turn 1 kill. No need to go bottom floor now, though. And he costs 1, so this is exceptionally easy. I'm just gonna kill them all for fun. I didn't kill them all for fun. I mean, I still got the kill here. I'm just a jerk. So, I wanted to kill all of those guys. There we go. Killed everything. Another 22,000, so that's 40,000. This is well into the 80,000 points. The turn 2 Talos at turn... the first turn rush, so I think that's a turn 8 on Archus. I might even push into 90. Yep, 92,000. Nice. So that's enough to put me in first for now. I maximized out my shards by planning ahead on my temples so I could do all the fusions. I duped something with 2 big spell upgrades for the most amount of shards I can get from them. On the boss rushes, I missed Talos by 1 turn. I got the 10 turn on Archus, Seraph, and the 9 on Divinity, so I maximized those points. So the only run trial I didn't get the most points on was Talos, where I lost out on 300 points. Theoretically, I could have gotten another 20 shards if I went that dupe early on for another... That would be another 400, 800 points, I think. I can't remember if I had the double upgrade by then. But yeah, so this is pretty much about as high of a score as you can get with this challenge. All right. Thank you for watching. You're welcome to like and subscribe. You also can check out any of my other videos or other Monster Train content providers that I have linked in the video description.